Hey yo, what is up, fellow sound designers? This is your boy Nova K coming in with a new tutorial of how I made this Dubstep Growly bass in the style of Xilent. This is what it sounds like all together. I'll play it for you guys. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result on this one. I followed a tutorial on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description from a guy named Letsynthesize, and he went over how to make a Xilent styled uplift bass. And I followed the basis of that video of how to make this growly style bass. So yeah, this is what it sounds like without the post processing with everything on it. Pretty much like a bass stab. It's just one long note, as you can see through the MIDI here. And if we open up the Serum patch, this is what I tweaked in the patch from Letsynthesize. I added a macro onto the FM for B, which is going to the second oscillator, and it's also changing the wavetable position a little bit over time, as well as this LFO, which is affecting oscillators A, B, and the filter, the cutoff, and it's going from low rate sweeping upwards and then having a curved decay at the bottom with a eighth note rate, so it's moving like sort of like this. And if you adjust this macro right here, it significantly changes the sound, becomes much thinner over time, and as you move it towards the left. And if you change the filter as well, you get different results for the sounds. I find that the flanges, like the phaser flanges and the some of the stuff from the miscellaneous folder, you can get some cool results. And LFO is sort of tweaking the EQ, moving down over time, and the in both the left and right poles, and the phaser is being modulated by the macro as well, a little bit by the frequency and the feedback. And that's it for the patch itself. It's pretty simple. I think there's also, yeah, there's a note modulated on the filter cutoff, but other than that, there's not much else going on in this. After that, there's an EQ from Letsynthesize, and then there's a Trash 2 that I added from Isotope, their plugin. I chose to add distortion on this because it could make it a little more thicker and growly, fit with the growl noise I was going for. So as you open up Isotope Trash, you're greeted with this this opening, and it's got all these different folders. I chose the Drive folder, which is where I choose most of my distortion options, and I went with Crunchy Grunge. And this one, if you move this yellow circle and move this point upwards, the higher the point is, the more distortion you'll get in the mix. So I have it sort of in the middle, and the further down, the less distortion you'll have. So I had it like sort of somewhere in the middle, and the dry wet's pretty much all the way up on this. And yeah, and then after, so this is what it sounds like without the trash, and this is with. Gives it a little more loudness in the mix, so I turn down the main volume. And then after that, we have a FabFilter Saturn 2, which I think this plugin definitely significantly changes the sound. So you're going from like a bass stab to a growl at this point. So you're going from this to this. It's got a pretty cool movement too. So this is from FabFilter Saturn 2, one of their presets in the effects. Yes, the effects section. Filter tremolo thing BM. So it's got like this moving LFO thing built into the saturation module, and as you move this LFO speed circle, you get different results, which could be good for recording as well. Yeah, very, very warbly in some sections, but I just went with like the bottom left area, which is like the slowest point on this LFO grid, which I think very, very much well fits the dubstep drum step genre, which is very cool. And after that, I have a plugin from Melda, their plugin M Phaser, just to give it a little more phasiness in the sound. I went with their preset suitcase, and it just gives it a little more phasiness with that movement that you hear in the sound. And if you adjust the dry, wet, and the rate, you get different results as well. I'll probably go with like a slower rate for this sort of sound, so like around 2.3. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then after that, I got a reverb, Valhalla Room, doing a little bit of automation on the mix of the Valhalla Room at about 4 seconds and 6.5 millisecond pre-delay. And I have an automation on the mix, which is going from bottom to about a little over 50%. Just to give it a little more of a reverb wash at the end of each note. Which I think fits very well for this sort of sound. And after that, we have a limiter at 6 dB, just to make sure nothing is going above or below that threshold of 6 dB. And to ensure that's not clipping. And then we have a utility at the end, not really doing anything. It could just be used for like automation for the volume side chain, going from nothing to 0 dB. And yeah, that is it for this sound. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I plan on doing more tutorials and stuff in the future. I just need to figure out what sounds I'm going to use and effects to show you guys my process of sound designing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and this is my my first dubstep bass tutorial. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.